Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a model that was launched along with an entire model line for 2019. This is the Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute WW.TC. The Laureato Absolute collection is to the Laureato as the Royal Oak Offshore is to the Royal Oak. It is a bigger, more aggressive, more durable, and as you can see, more audacious look. It's definitely sportier. One might even say it's a bit brash by Swiss standards. The watch is 44 millimeters in diamond-like carbon-coated grade 5 titanium. It measures 14.9 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip across the wrist, it's 52.5 millimeters. Because it is mostly sapphire and titanium, it wears pretty light on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. Somehow it comes across to the eye as thinner than it really is. It's not going to fit underneath the tightest of dress cuffs, though because of the step in the case, it should fit just fine underneath a jacket cuff. The case edge is curved. You can see that it has a cambered cape. The case arcs down around the edge of the wrist, so if you're borderline for this watch, it's not going to look as awkward. I'd say the smallest wrist that should wear this watch is 15 centimeters in circumference. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, the strap is rubber, not silicone. It's injection molded rubber with quite a bit of detailing. It's got this wonderful embossed and raised Girard-Perregaux name that's split side to side, and it's a little bit like a Hershey bar. In fact, Google Hershey bar, keep me streaming, you can see the resemblance. It has a matte finish which matches the case well, and then you can see that it's got a little bit of a character line down the edge that matches the bevel of the lug profile, and that's nice attention to detail. There's a very subtle contrasting navy blue stitch inside the strap, and as you can see, it is a brand new Girard-Perregaux factory strap. We have, likewise, a titanium folding clasp. Now, if you've got a little screwdriver, a jeweler's screwdriver, there is a micrometric adjustment built into the clasp, of which you can avail yourself. And then the clasp works by tucking the strap in and under, like many Omega, Tag Heuer, and Hublot clasps do. So there are no minder loops externally. You can see it's a very clean look. Once this is underneath the clasp, you don't see the excess length when it's on the wrist. There is a twin trigger release system, so it opens up when you press both triggers, not when you don't, giving you extra security, as this is a large, heavy, and expensive sports watch. Now you can see that the strap does flare and thickness, and it flares in thickness right up to the lug, which continues that expansion into the midcase. So there's a wonderful all-of-a-piece, almost bracelet-like look to the way the strap joins with the case. Now the case itself is diamond-like carbon. It's PVD, but PVD is a process. Diamond-like carbon is a material. Physical vapor deposition applies this diamond-like carbon material, which is highly scratch-resistant. You can see there's a contrast between the satin case flank and the polished bevel, and you can see that the bevel runs the length of the case on both sides. We have a crown guard structure, a geometric outer profile for the crown, which is designed to be evocative of the bezel. The bezel threads into the case, so it's not held on by bolts or screws like other sports watch bezels are in this class. It's threaded in, it becomes a structural part of the case and part of the water resistance scheme. Now, as you can see, it is a screw-down crown. The watch is highly water resistant, rated down to 300 meters, and we have a combination of, as you can see, satin and polish on the geometrically faceted tool interface profile of the bezel. The dial is the best part of this watch. You can see outboard there is a city reference ring in matte blue, and you have 24 principal cities to represent the world's 24 principal time zones. The watch features a system for adjusting your reference city. You put your reference city up at 12 o'clock. So for instance, I am in Philadelphia, so US Eastern, so I'm going to put New York up top. That is my reference time. Now, pull the crown out all the way, you activate the stop seconds. Now you see how I can adjust everything. And for example, when it is 9 o'clock, I can see that in New York, that's 9. That's very easy to tell. It's 9 a.m. So the idea there is that you can distinguish between AM and PM because you have this silver-black day-night 24-hour ring, and you can tell what time it is just about anywhere. You can see when it's 9 o'clock in New York, it's 11 in Rio de Janeiro, it's 2 in the afternoon in London. If you are in Karachi, Pakistan, you can see that it is 1900, so quite obviously it is 7 o'clock in the evening rather than 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's just a very handy system. And of course you can always tell because the opposites are directly across from each other. You read the hour adjacent to the reference city, and then you read the minutes at center. You can see that there's a lot of fine detailing. We have that matte blue Rayhaut or sloped city reference ring giving way to the silver, white, and black 24-hour reference ring, giving way to a lovely fumé fade worthy of Moser, a sunburst blue that starts cobalt blue at the center, fades to black, almost navy at the edge, and it's sandwich style like a Panerai with recesses, and then within the recesses you could see there are little mirrored black polished indices. The hands, as you can see, feature satinated tops and then mirror polished facets on their sides with an appliqué Girard-Perregaux logo. This is all very impressive. Also note it's a balanced style with no date. Turn it all over, you have the Laureato Absolute logo. It is a full collection, and you can see they are one of the few brands acknowledging that 300 meters is not 1,000 feet. They actually did the math and worked it out. Bravo, Girard-Perregaux. Inside you have a manufacturer movement. Girard-Perregaux is a manufacturer. It makes its own movements. You've got a GP03300 automatic winding 46-hour power reserve. It has the hacking or stop seconds feature. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It pivots on 32 joules. It is a thin, fine, and handsomely finished upscale ultra-thin automatic caliber. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of the Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute WW.TC.